just started because this is like more of like a technical sort of thing. But so if I'm a RevOps person, like I come in, I just connect our systems, right? So like we use HubSpot. You connect this. What we do is then we'll pull in all your fields and you just map these. It sets up a two-way sync. And there's like a few different type of field types. There's like the standard CRM fields, and like these are the fields that are like we're not going to fill out. Like who's the owner, what is the name of the account, their domain. This is kind of like more static data. Then there's the AI fields, and this is where you can create custom fields, right? This is like the stuff that we are going to fill out. We can fill out any field you want. Like we could fill out the name, we could fill out the owner if you wanted us to, but you can build anything custom here. And then there's another field type called analysis field. So like think of this as like a pyramid, where the foundation is the unstructured data, and that comes from like integrations with like Slack, call recorder, and then of course like email and calendar, which is like on the profile. But we ingest all this data, we connect it with the objects and the record IDs, and then we have this unstructured data, which is like really the foundation of our entire system. And then there's these AI fields. So think of like each of these fields as like an agent. That's like your job right here is you just analyze any mention of competitors in the context under which competitors are mentioned, right? That's it. Yeah. So anytime we get a new email, anytime we get a new call, anytime there's a new like message that comes in, like whatever, like analyze that and figure out like, do we need to update our understanding of the competitors that are currently involved in this deal cycle, right? Another one is like important people mentioned, but not that haven't participated. So it's like oftentimes when you're in sales, it's like, I gotta show this to, Frank, like whatever. So it'll like pick up like, okay, there's this Frank guy that, is somehow involved in this deal, and it'll pick up context clues. And again, like this just reevaluates with every single touch point. So then there's this like higher order field, which is called an analysis field. So think of like, this analyzes everything. So it's like all this stuff, the buying process, the competitors, the deal participants, the standard fields, the unstructured data. It's just like, okay, when do you think this is going to close? And so this takes in data from like the configuration where it's like, we'll pull in your stages, we'll pull in your stage durations, your entry exit criteria. This stuff gets factored into the close date. Other stuff that would get factored in the close date, just things that they've said, right? Like, so they might say like, oh yeah, well, we plan on getting the team together to kick off a pilot in December, right? So if like the sales rep has like a September close date in there, and the customer said, we're going to kick off the pilot in December. Well, the forecast close date like analyzes that data and says like, well, you're not going to close in September. You're going to close in March or something like that, right? There's deal gaps. This one's super important. This goes into like the meeting prep, which I'll show as well. But like, oftentimes like what like knowing what like so far that's what we've talked about. But like, what don't we know? Right. So I always like to think of, like in a video game, like a map-based video game where like the map is like kind of like blacked out until you like explore around, and then you can like kind of like see where things are. Yeah. It's like a sales process is kind of like that too. Like you don't know what you don't know. And then you start like exploring the map and like figuring out like, okay, they said like they use Zip for procurement. Okay. And they said that they need, that typically takes a month and a half to get all the approvals. All right. I got to back in from that. We got to get that process started now if I want to close that this quarter, because they said it takes a month and a half. The first call, you probably don't know that. Second call, you might know a little bit about that, but then like you build that up with like what the deal gaps does. It says like, hey, here's what we don't know. Like we don't know how long it takes them to do procurement. We don't know what their process is like. We don't know the people that are involved in that. So anyways, there's like all this configuration that happens. All the other stuff is automated. It's like we'll set up these two-way syncs. We'll pull in all your call data. We'll pull in all your emails and calendar events and like do all that automatically. And what's super cool about that, we also create the records too. So like since you're on my calendar here, like we pulled this in, right? So I have you as an account. I have you, and Equesti is contacts, or Vivian. I think like this was this because she was just on like the email, I believe, that we just had.
Back and forth.